Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. We're going to do a part 2 or a follow-up to the Ubiquiti UniFi UAP-AC mesh. So we did an open box on this and talked a little bit about it. Now we're going to kind of show you how to use it and kind of give you the setup on it. I just want to reiterate that this is not a simplified version of a router. In fact, it's not a router at all. This is an access point, and you need a router to run this. You have to have an existing router and internet provider to use this. So those of you that are watching, you probably already know that, but just in case you don't, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. That being said, these are not simple to set up like a standard router like a Linksys or a D-Link or a Netgear. So there's a little bit of work that goes into this, and that's why I'm going to do this video. I'm going to try to give you the best video that I can in layman's terms so it's easy to understand. We're going to record the screen here to show you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. So to give you an update on where we're at right now, both of the units, the UniFi AC mesh and also the AC Pro, are working in conjunction with each other. And what I've done is I have the Pro running as my, we'll say, master in a sense. I forget the technical term for it, but and then we have the AC mesh that is running standalone wirelessly, which is uplinked to the Pro. So in order to get this to work in this manner, a couple of things have to be done. You do need 2 units to make this unit run completely wireless, meaning it's not connected to it's not hardwired or plugged into your router with a cable. These two have to be married to each other in order to make that work. This one or another Ubiquiti AP must be plugged into your router, first of all. And then this one gets plugged into the router as well, and you set these both up. Then you can unplug this one after you've done a few things that I'm going to show you, and this one or others can become a standalone wireless AP, meaning you can go just plug this into power somewhere. As long as this can be talking to this will serve as a Wi-Fi hotspot or a range extender. The only difference is you can connect 100 of these all over a huge football stadium or a park or wherever you'd like, and it's endless. So without going into that further and further, we'll try to get into the setup now. All right, so we've got the screen recording going now, and I'm going to kind of show you here how to adopt the unit. So right now the AC Pro is already up and running and it's been adopted into the system, and now we're going to adopt this one here. Now you notice over here there is no names under these right now, and these were all previously set up before when they were in my house, and now we're going to kind of go through this and do it again for you. So we're going to click on this one here, and first of all, let me back up a little bit. So you're going to buy these, you're going to have to set them up. In order to do that, you're going to have to go to Ubiquiti's website right here, which is ubnt.com. Now you need to understand that you're going to have to sign up there. There's no other way around this in order to get into the software. You can get the software without signing up, but to install the software and to use the software, you're going to need to set up an account with Ubiquiti. So go into Ubiquiti, log in, and then go into the downloads here. And once you click on downloads, you're going to come to this page here. You're going to want to choose your software for whatever device you have over here on the left. And in our case, we're using the UniFi. So we'll click UniFi. And it's going to give us different firmwares and the UniFi cloud key. And for the record, you do not need a cloud key to operate these. It does make it easier if you're running several of them, but you don't have to have it. Then you're going to see down here the software. And you want the UniFi 5.4.11 software, whether it's for Mac, Windows, Linux, etc. And in our case, we chose on this computer the Mac, and we've also got the Windows version as well. But they pretty much look the same from what I've understood. So you're going to download that to your computer, and then you're going to open it, of course, save it onto your computer. And when you do that, and at least on a Mac, we're going to get a little icon that looks like this little guy here. It's going to look like the Ubiquiti UniFi Pro or the Lite, the AC version, the little round disk. You're going to click on that, and when you click on that, it's going to pull up a little window that says Unify Controller. This is where you need to be logged in and stuff. So you're going to launch it into a web browser, and once you launch it into a web browser, you're going to come to this page right here. And this is your Unify settings page, and everything to do with these APs is controlled via this website. Now, this does not have to be up and running in order for these to work, but it does have to be up and running in order for you to set them up and get everything done the way you want. All right, so at the top of it, you've got a dashboard, which is going to give you all of your settings, but all of your throughput, your statistics, everything you're going to need in that aspect. And that's on this first page here. If you notice over to the right, we do have the Ubiquiti UAP-AC, and it says adoption failed. And the reason we say adoption failed here is because this came out of my network in my house. So this has not been adopted to my network here yet. So before we get too far, let's go ahead and adopt this. And it doesn't matter what screen I'm on, as long as this is married over here to the, they call it the properties panel. This is going to show up until we click on a different one. Like there's a map. You can map it in your house or wherever you're at. You can actually bring in a Google image onto this screen through here, and then you can map out wherever you're going to put these. Like let's say you had a park or a stadium, that's what this mapping area is for. We're going to click on here on devices, and we're back to kind of where we started here. Like I said, the Pro's connected. Now let's go ahead and adopt the UAP wire mesh. First thing we're going to do is just simply go over to the overview, which is this unit here. There's the configuration for this unit. Let's go ahead and give it a name, and we're going to go ahead and give it a name of UAP-AC mesh. And that just is so we know what this unit is, and it's going to show us over here what that name is here. As soon as I hit save, you'll see that it changed over here. Then we're going to go ahead and you can use the site settings or for the LED on the unit, and for this sake we're just going to go ahead and put on, and we're going to hit save. And then we're going to have some radio settings. Okay, so let's take a look at the radios here. Under the Pro, or not the Pro, under the under the UAP-AC Mesh 1. So I want to say that because I brought the two units into a new network, and I used a different computer from the one I was using in my house to operate them from the Ubiquiti UniFi software, it killed everything inside the unit. So I had to reset everything up. So we had a little glitch while we were trying to show you this video. So I worked that all out, and now we're back to where we should be. So you can see the name here. I changed it again one more time just to make sure. And the Pro, we can go to that in a minute and work on that. But for the aspects of this, I just wanted to relay that to you. So we're now, you can see here under the UAP-AC Mesh unit, and we're under the configurations tab, and we are also under the devices over here on the left, under all here, and you just click on this line if you want, and it'll pull up the unit over here. And we can also see that we have the Pro. The little icon shows the Pro over here. So let's go back in here to our radios. It's going to show us our radios for our 2G and our 5G or 2 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz bands. The channel widths, you can choose what you'd like here. We're just going to stay with the default, which is 40 on the 5 gig and 20 on the 2 gig. Now you can use your auto channels here, which I never do that, but that's entirely up to you, however you want to do it. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to get a little more technical, so you kind of understand the software and how to use the two units together. Once again, as one being the host and one being the slave. And it's very important that you follow these instructions exactly, or this will not work. And I also want to let you know that when you go into your wireless LAN down here, that if you do not see an SSID under your two different radios, our 2G radio and our 5G radio, you'll need to come down here on the bottom left of your UniFi settings. You'll have to come in here to networks, and you'll have to create a new network. And then once you create a new network, that will give you your SSIDs. And over here you can see in your edits, you got them here, here. I'm sorry, under wireless networks, not networks, wireless networks. You want to create a new wireless network here. So just click that, and then you'll see that this is the new name of your wireless network, your security type. And here is where we did everything. And I just chose to call the network SSID this. I enabled the wireless network. I chose UAP personal for security. I have a security key. Now, if I wanted to apply a guest policy and charge guests to use this system, this is where I would start right here by clicking this button and go on from there. Today's tutorial is not about that. This is such an in-depth tutorial as it is. And this is such an advanced system that we're going to pass that for right now. You can click on advanced options and go into a few more other settings, but I suggest that for now you just stick with understanding the radio and how it works, similar to the current router you use. If you're looking for more advanced steps, be sure to let me know in the comment sections down below, and we can make a video for you for that. Anyways, getting back to this, just remember that in order to name your radios, or if you change networks or computers to operate them, you will have to do that. We're going to go back to our devices, and we are now going to set up the SSIDs to be the same. So over here we have two different SSIDs. The name of the name of the network is this, the UAP-AC-M Mesh 2. You can see it both on the 2 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz radios. But if you notice, there's a different SSID here, which is Mesh 5, which I put that there because this is the 5 gigahertz radio. And under here, you'll see that it's called Mesh 2. So what we're going to do, for the sake of all argument, is we are going to just call that Mesh. And we'll just go ahead and tell that to save. And then we're going to come down to this SSID, and we're going to do the same thing here and just call it Mesh. And the reason we're doing this is trying to do is create a seamless network for long range in which you are able to go from one place far away to another and never lose your connection. So that's kind of the situation that we're doing. And we're going to do this wirelessly rather than through a wired system. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make this unit a standalone wireless unit through the settings and through the device itself. And in order to do that, we have to go and unplug this from the wall and unplug it from the network. Then we have to plug it back in and let it reboot itself. And then we need to make some changes in the settings, and then we need to marry these two in an uplink situation. So the first things we're going to do before we unplug the other unit is we are going to choose this radio right here, or we're going to choose this device, which is the UAP-AC mesh, and we're going to choose the radios, and we're going to choose the channel, and these channels have to be the same for both units. And for the sake of demonstration, we're going to use channel 1 on the 2 gigahertz radio, channel 36 on the 5 gigahertz radio. We're going to cue our changes. We're going to apply the changes. Now, that's only on one of the radios so far. We need to come down here now to the next radio, which is the AC Pro, which we haven't named it here yet. And we can go ahead and go into configuration. Let's go ahead and give this a name, and we're just going to call this the AC-AP Pro, so we just know what it is in our list. Hit save, and up here at the top you can see that we've changed the name of this unit. Kind of where we left off when we ran into problems before. We're going to tell the lights to stay on just for the fun of it. We're going to go down to our radios now, and we are going to change this to channel 1. We're going to change this 5 gigahertz radio to channel 36 respectively. We're going to cue the changes. We are going to apply the changes. And now both units are now married to the same channels. They have the same SSIDs. They're going to talk to each other. They're going to communicate with each other seamlessly. And before I go to the next step, let's make sure that our radios are sharing the same SSIDs. And we see here that this is a UAP-AC Mesh 2 and UAP-AC Mesh 2. Let's jump over here on the bottom left to our settings. Let's go into our wireless networks, and let's make sure that we have the same thing here, which we do. And we're going to go back to devices on the top left. We're back here to our screen. So now we're going to go in and plug the UAP-AC UniFi mesh, and hopefully this will all happen the way we need it to. Now once we unplug this, we'll get a disconnect up here on the UAP-AC mesh unit. It's going to say, I think it's going to say disconnected, adopting. It's going to go through a couple of little sayings here in red. And then when we get to the, I honestly, I can't remember which one it is. I've only done this a couple of times. But when we get to that point, we'll start the uplink between the two. Now it's important that you know, before you do that, also under your settings tab, that this box right here, you want to be under settings and site. There is a uplink connectivity monitor right here, and you want to make sure this box is checked. Enable connectivity monitor and wireless uplink. If that is not checked, this will not work. So that's checked by default, but just in case you've messed with it, I just wanted to remind you of that. So we're going to go back to our devices. I'm going to step away from the computer for just a second. I'm going to go back, unplug the device, plug it back in, let it reboot up. Okay, so I now have the radio in my hand, the PoE that's going to power it, the PoE switch. I'm going to plug this in. I'll just plug it in over here where I have some power. It's going to power up. I'm just going to lay it on my table here. Wait for my lights to do their thing. Right now we've got a white light. I don't know if you can see this, where I've got my camera set up, but that's okay if you can't. It's happening in the background. And we have a blue flashing light, and we're going to look at the screen at the same time. Right now our screen still says we're connected on the UAP-AC mesh. Now it's possible that this is still connected, uplinked from my earlier setup. I don't know. We're about to find out. No, it's not, because it would say here that there's an uplink, so we don't have that. We have a blue light, so we're flashing here. We've got to wait a few minutes for this to do its thing because it's not plugged into the network. Eventually this is going to get goofy on us, and we're going to see a change in our screen here under this unit. I'm going to refresh the screen up here. There we go. It's saying isolated. And I believe that's actually where it needed to be, was isolated. So we have the flashing blue light. If this is coming through on the camera, and I'm not sure if it is. Derek, we got this on the camera?
Yeah.
And on the software, you're going to see the word isolated. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down. It looks like, yeah, it's still flashing, but it's a slow flash. So let's see here. We're going to go over here to wireless uplinks under the UAP mesh, under this little setting right here, wireless uplinks. We're going to click this, and okay, so Derek's back now with some better sound. So now we're connected, like I said, from the UAP-AC mesh wirelessly to the AC-AP Pro, as you can see, in a wireless fashion. This is broadcasting, solid blue lights. We're going to refresh our software up here in the top right corner, Everything's good. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to grab this right here. And we're seeing these because they were broadcasting before, as you know, but they will no longer be there. I'm going to go ahead and enter this password. And before I enter this password, I'm going to go ahead and pause my recording on the screen. Okay, so now I've got the password put in here, and we're going to join this wireless unit right here that you can see is completely wireless, not connected to the LAN. I wasn't sure if you were able to see the PoE switch or not, but you get the point. Not really trying to mess with you here, just trying to show you how this works. So I'm now looking up here to see if we're going to connect, and we are now connected to the UAP-AC mesh. And let's go ahead and grab a window. We'll go here and we'll just go do a speed test, see what we can come up with. And see what we got. And there you have it. And we are wirelessly connected to this unit at over 160 megs per second. Granted, I am right in front of the unit, you know, but it works phenomenally well. I just can't say it enough. It's incredibly fast. We're now looking at a 20 meg upload. We are on a system from Comcast or Xfinity where my connection in the studio is 150 megs down, and I think it's supposed to be 50 megs up, but I never see much more than 20. I call them, they'll speed it up, and then they always throttle me back. So there you can see our download speed was 181 megabits per second. Our upload speed was 2191 per second. This is an iMac with a 2 gig or a dual band card in it, and we were connected to the UAP-AC. Now, do we know for sure we were connected to that unit because of the way our SSID is set up? Quite honestly, no, because they are sharing the same name. I could very easily go into the software back here, and I could change the name of this radio really quick. So why don't we do that really fast? We can go in here to the wireless LANs, and we will go ahead and go to the 5 gigahertz here. We will just change this again to, we'll just call this number 3. Why not, huh? And let's save this. And let's cue the changes. Let's apply the changes. Because now, for my own curiosity, I would like to know if in fact we were connected to this and not the Pro in the back. Give this a second to provision. As you can see here, it's provisioning now because I changed the SSID, I'm assuming. And then we will go from there. We'll wait for it to show up under here. And there's UAP-AC mesh. We've got to enter in a password. Password's in. We'll edit that out, of course, later. And we are still provisioning, but we are in fact connected to that at this point. We'll give it a second to finish its provision and hope that it will provision. Let's see if we can hit anything yet. And there we go. So now we are in fact connected to it. It does appear that we have a lower speed. Let's see if we're finished. We're still, it still says we're provisioning, but we're up to 98.55 and about the same 19 to 20 megs upload speed. So it's a possibility that we were connected to the Pro in the back because they shared the same SSID. And that's why, of course, I changed the name so we could make sure. And let's just hit this one more time just for the fun of it. See if we're done provisioning. It still says we're provisioning. I don't know why. So yeah, we're hitting up about high 80s, 90 right now, 93. Staying pretty steady around 90 plus megabits per second. Almost 100. There we go. We went as high as 99, but it stopped at 96 and a half. We're uploading at about 20. So nonetheless, 99 bucks, wireless, outdoor, waterproof access point with a little experience to set it up. I mean, you can't beat that. Yes, I'm very close to this right now. Myself and Derek did a test earlier before we brought this to the studio tonight. We went approximately about 150 feet from where this was located inside my house, outside my house through a full brick wall. There was a window. This was not in front of the window, but there was a window. Both of us went about 150 plus feet, downloading at the exact same time at speedtest.net or the app for our phones. And I think we both hit right around 15 megs download, right, Derek? And about
11
on the uploads.
on the upload. Yeah.
So it was pretty consistent, and that's a big property. I have a big property, so to give you an idea of the space of that, you could build 3 houses on the property where we were at testing this. So it's a reliable unit, and that was both of us simultaneously doing it, as well as running apps in the background. And at the same time, the SSIDs were different than the Pro at that time. And I had a computer in my house that was controlling it, running 3 full screens and HD video cameras, monitoring being downloaded from the internet from a couple of my businesses, as well as another DVR system with 6 high-def cameras running on top of that on that same computer. So we were just bogging the hell out of this thing, and we were still rocking 150, 175 feet away out in the field. So anyways, this is going to end this tutorial for this part. I hope this helps you out. This is going to be a long one. Please, enjoy this. This is more for the techie people out there that have asked for the long version of how to do this. Ubiquiti doesn't have much to show you on how to do this, and so hope you enjoy this. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions about this unit, I'll do my best to answer the questions. I'll do my best to update videos for this system. This is a very complex system. Once again, remember, this isn't for the average homeowner. This is for somebody who wants a long range, reliable system with seamless integration from one unit to the next without losing their link on big pieces of property or whatever. So we'll put a link in there as well to where you can pick these up. And if you decide to buy one, please click on our link and find it. As always, I want to say, hey, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video. Please comment, ask any questions you have about these units. I'll do the best I can to answer them. Once again, I'm Wes. Derek's here doing the filming as always. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.